Hey, what's up, guys? Spencer Rhodes here. So, Cyndie is a character that has been on The Walking Dead since Season 7, Episode 6. I believe that was the episode where her Oceanside community was introduced. Her grandmother was the leader. She was killed accidentally by Enid during Season 8. The Oceanside is an army of pretty much mostly just women because Simon had killed most of the males back when they were being controlled by the Saviors, and they had gone off into hiding. And during Season 8, they had eventually came to the rescue at the last second to help the good guys fight the Saviors. And in Season 9, they have had a somewhat significant role. They have not been seen for a couple of episodes. There was a big time skip after Rick left the show, which was 6 years. And we haven't even had the Oceanside people be mentioned. I don't think Cyndie or Beatrice or the little girl that keeps trying to kill Tara, I don't think they've been seen yet. Those are the three big ones, Cyndie, Beatrice, and the little psycho girl. I mean, she might be a teenager now because it's a 6-year time skip. 7.5 years since Season 8. So those are the three big characters out of the Oceanside community. And I'm just going to assume that they're still alive because they hadn't been mentioned. Maybe if some of them did die, that ties into Michonne's trust issues and the scar on her and Daryl's backs. I don't know. But for right now, I'm going to assume that at least Cyndie is still alive because, you know, some of those Oceanside characters, they could have been killed during the time jump. They could have been killed off screen, but Cyndie is too big of a character to die off screen. So I'm going to assume that right now, in Season 9, Episode 7, at the current point in the show, Cyndie is still alive. Now, some people think that she might be getting killed off soon. I mean, it is her 3rd season. She's not the biggest character, but you like her just enough that there's a chance that her death could be emotionally affecting. However, I don't believe that she will be dying anytime soon. I believe that she will make it to at least Season 10, Season 11. I think she'll make it to Season 11, maybe 12. At least a couple more years. So I'd say at least Season 11. She'll at least make it that far. I think her character has more potential. She's interesting. She's easy on the eyes. Seems like a capable fighter, and she has a really sympathetic backstory. I mean, people that I think a lot of people are sympathetic to her because, you know, she watched her little 11-year-old brother get shot in the head. So I mean, she's a tough survivor. And she lost her grandmother, and she ended up helping the person that accidentally killed her grandmother, and that kind of takes guts to forgive that. So she's a pretty tough person, and I believe that she is eventually going to become Daryl Dixon's love interest. And I think that this, more than anything else, is what's going to keep her alive for the next few seasons. So I do believe that Cyndie will survive the next few seasons of The Walking Dead. She will be alive in at least Season 11, maybe 12. There have been a lot of scenes between Daryl and Cyndie in the first 5 episodes. It seems like they care about each other. There's one instance where Daryl saves her life and shoots a zombie from a distance that's about to bite her. And in the first episode, he's helping her get an artifact, and they talk about all the people that they've lost, and they connect on some level. And there sort of seems to be a theme this season about Daryl's future, about him someday, you know, finding a partner and maybe having kids. Remember, there's a scene in Episode 2, but right before Aaron loses his arm, where he talks about Gracie, and Daryl just kind of makes fun of him, and Aaron says that Daryl would be a good dad and that he should have a kid. And I don't think that they put that scene in there for no reason. This season hasn't really had any scenes or moments that were in the story for no reason. So I believe that they are setting up Daryl eventually having a love interest and maybe having kids, because I think that Daryl is going to be one of the characters that they just don't kill off for like another 10 years. I mean, they've already added to Norman Reedus, Melissa McBride, and Denai Gorilla's contracts. I don't know how to say her fucking last name, but those three characters, Michonne, Daryl, and Carol, the actors, their contracts got changed because they want them to stay on the show now that they've lost the other two big ones, Rick and Maggie. So I believe that, especially with Rick gone, their show really just needs Norman Reedus. I mean, Daryl's not really one of my favorite characters. I think he's okay. He's been better this season. He was definitely mishandled the last few seasons of the show, but I think that the Angela King is kind of fixing his character. I can actually hear his lines. I can actually tell what he's saying half the time. It's such a nice thing, being able to understand what Daryl's saying. Don't you just love that? Isn't it just wonderful? And he's not just going insane and recklessly blowing up innocent people and trying to kill everyone every episode. That is just great. It's so much easier to like him, at least a little bit. But I do think that they're keeping Daryl alive for a very, very long time, and it might not necessarily happen in season 9, maybe not even in season 10, but they're laying down the sprinkles, they're planting the seeds, they're foreshadowing that Daryl will eventually fall in love and have kids and settle down. That's what that scene between Daryl and Aaron was for, where Aaron is asking Daryl, or telling Daryl that he would be a good dad someday. That scene was in there for a reason. It's foreshadowing what eventually happens with Daryl, which, like I said, he ends up starting a family. And I think that Cyndie and Daryl, they're going to eventually get together, and Cyndie is Daryl's love interest. And they might end up having kids or something somewhere down the line. Like I said, I'm not saying that this will happen this season. It might not happen in season 10, but it will eventually happen. And that will definitely keep Cyndie alive. They're not going to kill her off if she's going to be Daryl Dixon's love interest. And she's a badass character. I don't want her to die. I really like her. She's honestly one of my favorite, like, minor recurring characters out of the ones we have so far. I mean, I'd say her and Cal are my favorite minor characters. Jerry's pretty much a main cast member at this point, so he doesn't even count. I mean, I like Cyndie, Cal, Deanne, but I think that Cal and Deanne could die before Cyndie does. I think Cyndie is definitely going to survive a few more seasons, and like I said, they have plans for her and Daryl. They're setting that up. They're planting those seeds, and I think that Cyndie is definitely going to live a long time. She could make it to season 13, 14, 15. She really could be one of those characters. I mean, this is her third year. They could have killed her off by now if they wanted to, but they haven't. They've kept her alive. And I think that, like I said, I think she and Daryl will eventually have a romance. Some people are saying that Cyndie could be one of the heads on spikes, and I can see where they're coming from, but I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be Cyndie. I think it could be Beatrice. It could be that girl that keeps trying to kill Tara because she'll be a teenager at this point. It could be someone from Oceanside, but it doesn't have to be Cyndie, and I don't think it will be Cyndie. Also, I think that Daryl scored some points, some brownie points, when Cyndie got revenge on Arat and Justin and all the people that had killed all the males on Simon's orders. Daryl could have stopped it. He could have saved Arat, but he just walked away. He and Maggie just walked away. I mean, I think Cyndie got a little weak in the knees when Daryl just let her kill Arat. Like, that was kind of a favor. So she might like him a little bit more after that. And she's certainly not going to be mad at him. Now, if Daryl had gone all season 8 Jesus and tried to save everyone and save Arat's life, that might have hurt his chances. She might have been a little mad at him, but I think that kind of helped a little bit, that he just let her get her revenge. Cyndie and Daryl, I mean, they have a lot of things in common. Like, I can honestly see the chemistry. They keep getting scenes together for a reason, and like I've already said, the romance and having kids, that's being set up. It's the seeds are being planted. It might not happen for a few seasons, but it will happen, and they're not going to kill Cyndie because of those plans. I think that Sydney's here to stay, and she will be alive for a few seasons. And Daryl and Cyndie are going to have a romance. Maybe not right now, but it will eventually happen. So, therefore, Cyndie is safe. She will not die in Season 9. She will not be one of the heads on spikes. She probably won't die in Season 10 either. She'll probably make it to the Commonwealth. she's probably going to live a few more years. So I do believe that she is safe for the foreseeable future. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. I make 1 to 2 Walking Dead videos per day, so please hit that subscribe button. Anyway, with all that said, I am Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye.